Aha. Today's topic now, small yarn. I'm not going to even take for the live, but I feel some people need to hear this. Some people need to understand this. Because we are living under a lot of manufactured lies. Many manufactured lies. Manufactured facts. It has nothing to do with truth, but we admit that it is fact because they've repeated it so many times. So many times. One of the big examples now trickle down economics of capitalism. The privatization. For example, like when they tell us private government has no business doing business. That's a manufactured fact. It has nothing to do with truth. Because that means, give the business to the private sector. Let the private sector run the business. It's business that have right to run. It's businessmen that should run business. We the people, because government is the people. Whether you like it or not, government is the people. So we the people don't know anything about business. It's only these businessmen, these elites. Government has no business in business. But the fact, not the manufactured fact. The truth be said, if we look with our own eyes, these businessmen have no business doing business. They have no business. It's in the international scene, the financial crisis of 2008, Silicon Valley Bank collapse, Sky Bank collapse. There's nothing they can run that they don't collapse. It is now the government that will still go and bail them out. Name Genco, oil company, Enron in America. All capitalists must crumble and crash. And we, the people that have no business doing business, will have to be the ones to come and rescue them. Always, that's how it has always been. I never see any time where these so-called businessmen know how to run any business. Let's look at Nigeria for what works in the private sector. Because, is it the way they run the private telecommunication? Are you impressed with the way phone networks are operated in Nigeria? You have quality phone network, but it's all private. Is it working well? Look at our transportation system, for example. The transportation system in Lagos. Look at those downfall without seat belts, downfall without foam for the chair. We always forget that all those downfall is private business. It's private business. Those are private, and who cares about you? Any downfall have accident, everybody has 80% chance of dying. No window, no nothing. Bako, the chair is gone. Where you sit down top inside, it's not bolted down. So what are we really saying? That government has no business in business. Private sector can run business. What are they running well? Is it the bank that they are running well? What are they really doing well? Government has no business in business. Just a way, a manufactured fact. We go allow the rich people for the country take control of more of the economic incentives of the country. The economic chances where the people get. They just want to continue to take everything for themselves. So let government sell everything to them. They will manufacture the fact. Their agents, their employees. Because when you watch TV, all of you forget, when they watch TV, when they watch radio, all these experts, analysts, presenter, journalists, they are all employees of the rich. They are giving scripts to come and read to you on TV. So when they come outside, they start spitting this manufactured fact. Many people think or believe that this is now fact. But it is manufactured. It is not real. They created it. Trickle-down economics is one of these manufactured facts too. If the rich people have plenty money, don't worry, let Mederibe hold enough cash. Let Dan Tata hold enough cash. Let Dangote hold enough cash. Let Otedola hold enough cash. Let all these people have enough cash. When the cash don't over plenty for their hand, know how it will begin trickle down. They must spend it on us. Now what they do since 1999, trickle down economics. Trickle down economics, and there's nothing for us, the people, to show for it. Only their own life, the better. So that's another manufactured fact. There's no such thing as trickle down economics. So one of the things that they realize when they make people, they always tell me this: all these people, they destroy our country. Maybe they are also Nigerians. Maybe they are also like you and me. They are you and me. They are our uncles. Me too, when I was younger, before I study, before I open my third eye, you know, when I used to see everything only at face value, you know, before I open my third eye, you know, bam, I see, to see the truth. I always thought like you people too, you know. I always thought like you people too. Hey, this one I did, this one I that, you know. But I can't realize after I open my third eye, we studies with enough study, with enough meditation, research, you know, raising my consciousness. I realized that we must understand, say, we are not our oppressors, especially African oppressors, especially African people. African people are not there. We are not that. They might be biologically related to us. They might even share some of our DNA, our culture, but in their worldview, they have shown that they are different. That's why I always say, become the enemy of your oppressor. Now, one of the things we Frantz Fanon talk to me really very profound with that. Say, for anybody to stop being the victim, I always say this: if you want to stop being the victim of your oppressor, the only way is to become his enemy. As soon as you recognize your oppressor as your enemy, you have stopped becoming his victim, because you move with him like an enemy. Who be this AG mighty where they say talk about DJ Chicken? Who the fuck is DJ Chicken? Who do I be Chicken? Who is DJ Chicken? What's my business with this DJ? Everybody just coming here telling me about DJ Chicken. What's my business with DJ Chicken? Who be that? I bet me, now let me face my topic. You know? So, I can't realize it. As we deal like this, we are very, very misled, you know, by all these people. They talk nonsense. Oh, we are our oppressor, we are our oppressor, we are our oppressor. We are our oppressor, we are our oppressor, we are our oppressor. I said, let me think about it. So we must now understand, who are the oppressors of Nigeria? How did they come to be? You know? Can you be the enemy of your father? Can you be the enemy of your mother? Can you be the enemy of your brothers, your sisters? Yes. The answer is yes. And if anything don't turn your father to your enemy, can that person still be your father? Because to be father is not only about blood. There's also a responsibility. There's also a relationship. If we don't have that relationship, if we don't get that connection, we make us father and son, can we still say that we are father and son? Abi, what do you think? What do you think? Now, you know, the hailing of the oppressor. Now, many people like to hail oppressors. Hey, oppressor, hey. The hailing of these oppressors also is one of the signs where some people don't take show, say, oh, they are lying. They don't want to be the enemy of the oppressor. So you must understand that we the oppressed are also not all the same. So many oppressed people just want to become oppressors themselves. So those kind of people are willing to say that, yes, they see themselves in their oppressor. But me, I will give you a small historical backing here to let you know why you are different from your oppressor, and why we as African people, we cannot say that we are our oppressor. Because they are Nigerians. They get Nigerian passport. They're black like us. They bear Nigerian names. No, those things are disguise. Those things are disguise. Trust me, many of them, if they have the chance, if not say they will take them do a year. You know, imagine if Tinubu bleach. If Tinubu bleach his skin now, begin to do Jericho, he can't be president of Nigeria. So to hold on to political power, they cannot really. But go and look at their wives, their girlfriends, their children, who have no interest in politics at the moment. Look at the way all of them want to look like Oyibo as much as possible, bleaching, all the hairstyle, every goddamn, you know, the Muslim ones in the north. Go and look at their wives, all dressed like Arabic women, you know, with the doll, with all the Arabic whatever. They go do henna tattoo for all their body when they want, you know. So this is where their minds are at. They don't do anything African. Nothing about them. I keep telling people, nothing about our oppressor is African. I'll tell you why. You know, for African traditional society, many of the social sciences were socialized. You understand? Many of the social sciences for Africa were already socialized. You know, so apart from native doctors, you know, because health is important. Everybody na doctor. Trust me, for ancient Africa, everybody na doctor. Even 10-year-old pikin know all the leaf waiting for forest, and what if you take those leaf do? You know the leaf where you go use if eye dey pain am. Small pikin that time for Africa, know the leaf where you go use if belle dey pain am. You know the leaf where you go use if you wound for leg to stop bleeding. So medicine to a certain extent was socialized. Everybody na working doctor, but there were specialists. You understand? Just the way even for our own society today, doctor dey, but there's specialist dey. So we had specialists, but that not only for medicine. Only medicine, na him specialists come out for Africa. You see, for the other social sciences, let's look at law, for example. Everybody for Africa na lawyer before Igbo man come. Everybody for Africa na lawyer. I repeat, before Igbo come, everybody knows the law. African law no be law of legality. African law na law of justice. So law of justice no dey complex. Law of justice, when we say no be say law we want legalize criminality. Oyibo law na law where they take legalize criminality, where they take make bad thing look good, so that rich people can do what they want in society, and they will have a law to back them. Law where they go make rich people come for where poor people dey, collect all their property, steal them, turn am to their own, find one name, give them, put them inside law. That is Oyibo law. It's not about justice. 45 years say, but mortality rate was high too. Who told you that mortality rate in Africa was high? You know, this is another manufactured lies. You know, the life expectancy of an African in those days was longer than the life expectancy of any European. In fact, Africans had the highest life expectancy of any people in the world, you know, pre-colonialism. You know, in fact, our life expectancy in Nigeria pre-colonialism is better than what it is now. The life expectancy now in Nigeria is about 48 years old for men and 49 years for women. And trust me, before colonialism, Africans lived longer than that. You know, that's why Africans lived way longer. We lived way longer than that. We were healthier, we were stronger, you know, than what we are today in many ways. You know, so yeah, nobody should believe that lie that Africans were were dying. We were very healthy, very clean, very clean. Because you know, many people forget that health is nothing but hygiene. You know, how clean was our society, was how healthy we were. Not be like Europe. Europe was dirty and stinking. They didn't even have, we had Shalanga from day. Europeans used to throw shit out of their window near onto the streets. Go and look at, they had bubonic plague, so many diseases. Europeans brought smallpox, syphilis, gonorrhea, name the STD, all came from Europe to the New World. They spread all these diseases, cholera, whatever, you know, all across the world, you know. So understand that. But anyway, let me go back to what I'm saying. So even the law, everybody for Africa a lawyer. You know, you can't cheat anybody. Everybody know the law of Africa. We knew the law of the land. You understand me? We knew the law of the land. Thirdly, engineering, for example. All Africans were engineers. All Africans could build their own houses. We come together, we build houses. We come together, we build our roads. We dig our shalanga. We did any kind of construction. The bridges, the mines. Africans were all natural engineers. You understand? That's why pre-colonial Africa, there was nobody in Africa that was homeless. I keep saying it. Homelessness is another thing that Igbo people came to give us as part of civilization. Homelessness is part of European civilization. You understand? African civilization, we didn't understand homelessness. That's why, if you are my age, maybe 40, maybe now there are grandfathers that are homeless. But in my generation, meaning that your grandfather was living in pre-colonial Africa, there are no homeless grandfathers in my generation. All those people were homeowners, and they did not have to work for anybody before they owned those homes and owned their own houses where they could raise their children. I just say somebody here is Danny Tosule. I don't know which name. Danny Tosule. From Danny Tosule. Ukpo. He say yes, but yes, there was no poverty and hunger in Africa. Yes, and you are right, because poverty and hunger are also part of European civilization. You know, these are the part of the things that they came to civilize us with. You know, so now, if you look at Africa, Africa is full of engineers, Africa is full of doctors, Africa is full of lawyers. So they had to be first. They had to be a first of this kind of people. And that's why Nigeria, you go, they say Rotimi Williams is the first lawyer. This one is the first doctor. They had to be a first. Right? So how did Europeans create these firsts? Who were these firsts? How did they teach all these firsts that went on to teach the others? What did they tell them? Who did they make them become? What did they teach them? Where did they put them? You must understand this, because this is how the African elites were created. The Hausa boys, which is the name that they first gave our police force. You know, Glover boys, Hausa boys. What was this bastard man? Lugard, that he trained all of them. How did Oyibo people also, because many of our elites have come from this military background, how did the Europeans create their military in Africa? You must understand that too. To make Africans work for Europeans, in places like Nigeria, in places like Kenya, in places like Congo, Ghana, because Africans did not understand the concept of work. We don't work for anybody. No African before pre-colonialism had ever worked for anybody. You are not put on earth to work for somebody to be rich so that you can eat. That's slavery. I always tell everybody that slavery not be say they tie you with chain. Slavery simply means that somebody else controls the quality of your life. And I tell anybody, we are all enslaved. Maybe a few of us are free, but the majority of humanity is enslaved, especially the employed humanity. Because as soon as you are employed, your employer, your so-called employer, just so that you can have all the things that slaves used to get for free, that is European slaves, or the things that Africans used to already get for free, meaning house to stay, food to eat, medicine to use when you are sick, entertainment for yourself, you know, to live your life, to live a comfortable life. These things were given to the slaves, European slaves, for free. But when Europeans freed their slaves, now you have to pay for those things. And to pay for those things, you have to still do what? Work for the person that owns those things. You understand the game? So you now as an employee, you think you are free because you collect salary for your work. And I always tell people, you know, because I had to learn this, because I didn't understand it. But when I understand now, what is your labor? If we have all agreed that selling people is bad, if I sell my hand, is that okay? I mean, we laugh at people every day that sell their kidney. Boys go out now and sell their kidney for money, sell liver for money, right? And you laugh at such people. Can you hear me? Oh my God. Let me know if you can hear me. Something happened now and I want to just be sure that you can hear me. Let me know. Let somebody out there. You think that you watching my live? Let me know if you have audio.
No, my Instagram logged me out.
Your Instagram has logged you out. Where did they send it to? Your other phone?
I don't know. Where did they send it to?
Look at what they wrote there now. Okay, they can hear. Okay, good. Let me continue. So these people, right? We must look at it from that perspective, you know. Try and look at it from the understanding that, yeah, many of these our military men, you know. Okay, so I was telling you about slavery. Oh, sorry, skip my mind. So yeah, what does it mean to be a slave to somebody? You think, well, because you have a job, is it okay to sell my labor to somebody? This is a question we must ask. This is a question our ancestors asked, and they were killed for asking this question. They were brutalized, maimed. Many of them, their children's hands were cut off. You know, in Congo, when you refuse to walk, because we didn't understand, they will go and carry the person's child and cut off the hand of your child to make you walk. Because there's nothing they could do to the man. They go beat them. If they beat them, how you go take walk? If they beat you, you don't have power to walk. And Europeans needed the men to walk. So our forefathers refused to walk. How can you make me walk? Come on, get out. So Europeans came up with a very diabolical way of forcing Africans into the concept of work. Europeans came up with a very diabolical way to force Africans to embrace the concept of work. And what was that? It was the kidnapping of their wives and their children. So Europeans would come with all these their Hausa boys, all these their black Africans where they don't train to be first military man, first doctor, first this. These people, they don't train, You know, Europeans would carry them to raid their own brothers and sisters. You understand? Capture their wives and their children and force them to work so that they can release their wife and children. You that refuse to work, they will cut off the hand of your wife, cut off the hand of your daughter, your son. You understand? This is how Europeans forced Africans to start to walk. That word, walk. So now I always say to people, is it okay? You think it's okay to sell your labor to somebody else? Is the way the world is fixed. Right? But you laugh at people that sell their kidney. You laugh at people that sell their liver. But if I tell you, okay, I want to sell my hand for money, is that okay to sell my hand for money? They'll say no. Is it okay to sell my leg for money? No. Is it okay to sell my ear, my eye? Is it correct? Is it ethical? No. So what part of me is my labor that is okay for me to sell it? Because my labor is a part of me. The way my hand, my leg, my eye, my ears, my heart, my kidney, the way these things are a part of me is the way my labor is a part of me. So why do you tell me it is okay to sell that one, but it's not okay to sell the others? Because it benefits my slavery. It keeps me subjugated. I tell people, once you have this employment, your employment now brings you, although you can now afford all the things that the slave can afford, that the slave used to get for free, which is what they do really. They remove us from life until you work for them. They remove you from life. They remove you from housing. They remove you from eating. They remove you from anything you need to survive. Now, not only that, when you work for somebody, that's your job determines when you sleep. Just the way the master tells the slave when to sleep. It's the same way your job tells you when to sleep. Your job tells you when to wake up. Your job tells you when you can travel. Your job tells you how long you can travel for. In fact, your job tells you how far you can travel to. Your job tells you how much time you can spend with your family. Do you understand? Same thing. Your job controls the quality of your life. The quality of your life is no longer yours. The quality of your life is determined by another factor. That means you are not free. That means you are enslaved. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the slavery mentality, really, that is destroying Africa, that they are trying to keep going by all means. The elites of the world is this slavery mentality. You understand? That is what they really need, you know. So when they tell us that we are these people, so for me now, so who are these people? How can I be the person that was used to destroy my ancestors. How can we be those people? So the first doctor in Nigeria, for example, went to a missionary school where they would have told him in the missionary school that his ancestors are barbarians. They would not flog him like animal. Anytime he tried to behave like an African person, they would laugh at him in the missionary school. They call him a monkey, call him a nigger. The first doctor must definitely be filled with enough self-hate. And when you hate yourself, you have to extend it to the people that look like you. That's why no doctor in Nigeria today has been educated. Because it's the first doctors that will pass their consciousness into the system that will create all the other doctors. That's why there's no single doctor in Nigeria today that cares more about any African life than money. He is doing the doctor job not because he wants to save African people's lives, but because he has been told that to be a doctor means he can make money. Do you understand? So the first lawyer, it is the consciousness of that first lawyer that would permeate through all the other people that they will teach that law, because they will be the ones to construct that process of learning it. And they will teach you the way their own masters have taught them. Europeans did not teach the first lawyers and doctors in Africa how to be lawyers and doctors. The way they taught the first, the way they did their own, teach their own children to be doctors and lawyers. Europeans, it is not with the same words that they taught law to their children that they came to teach law in Africa. So there's no lawyer in Africa today that cares more about justice than the money he wants to make for law. That's why all the best lawyers in Africa are defending criminals. There is no lawyer in Africa today that is not in the payroll of any African politician. Any son in Nigeria, senior advocate of Nigeria, it means you are advocating lies and oppression. You have worked in the Supreme Court to establish one lie to support the oppressor. Show me one law, because son in Nigeria, senior advocate of Nigeria, means that you have gone to argue a case in the Supreme Court. Show me one case that they've all gone to argue in that Supreme Court that came out to mean Nigerians will have better education. Show me one case that they have gone to win in that Supreme Court that has come out to say that Nigerians will have better transportation, better health care. Never. Every case in that Supreme Court is one politician, election or something, one business, something that they've gone to fight. Is always around their power play of politics, party politics, national politics, regional politics. Finish. Or some business with NNPC, oil money. They found oil in one place. One state say it's smaller than one state. They found oil in the state. That is all they go there to do. That is all they go there to do. So now these people will now sit down. The first journalists in Africa. I mean, all these first. That's why even till today, we are still fighting for firsts in their institutions. Till today. The first one. Nothing of this first has anything to do with the progress of African people. So I want you to understand this consciousness of the elite of Africa. Because it is from these professions, this doctor, this lawyer, this military, this whatever, that we drag out all these elites, engineering, banking. I mean, the more banks. So that is why, so you must see. Let me tell you. The evidence, the reality, the fact, the truth is always there. That's why they must spend billions of dollars every year to distract you with television, distract you with your own phone, distract you with anything around you so that you don't see your realities. If you could see your reality, there's no way you will be behaving like this. We behave like mad people in Africa because we are out of our minds. We are deliberately kept out of our minds. And to be out of your mind is what it means to be crazy. Because they know that if Africans live in their mind for one day, if African people truly took one day to live in their minds, this world will burn. If African people took just one day and forgot all this distraction, all these lies that they feed to you every day to make you feel nonsense, all these things you are chasing that you yourself know is nothing. You know it's empty, because all the people that have it are not happy. All the people that have it are not content. All the people that have it still want more, meaning it's never enough. The one that has it, Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. It's like he has not come out to say he has money that he can never spend in 5. Brother, listen. If you have $100 million in your account today, you are closer to a homeless person than you are to Jeff Bezos. I repeat, if you have $100 million in your account right now, you are still closer to a homeless person than you are to Jeff Bezos. Yet Jeff Bezos still wants more money. More. So there's no contention there. They are never. So we all know that there's no. But we keep. Why do you think you do that? Because you are programmed. You have millions, billions is spent. Because they know we must, as African people, we must be made to live out of our minds. Because the day African people sit down and go into their minds, this world will burn. This world will definitely burn. So we must be kept out of our mind, so we don't see the reality. So that we will be thinking that what was it called? Tony Elumelu is doing something special in UBA Bank. What's the other one in Access Bank? The one in GT Bank. What is their name? Can I forget these people's name? Anyway, all these bank owners, you would, but the reality of the banking institutions in Africa is that the more banks we have opened in Africa, the more poverty has been bestowed on African people. In 1970, there were less banks in Nigeria than we have today. But there's more poverty. Now, in 2023, there's more bank and less finance. The more the banks, the less the finance for African people. The more the police and soldier we have in Africa, the less security and protection we have as African people. The more hospitals we build in Nigeria and Africa. Let's even use Nigeria, the country where we know. The more hospitals where we build for our country, the more doctors that graduate in our university, the less healthcare we get as a people. In 1970, the life expectancy of the average Nigerian was 56 years old. Today, it is 48 years old. And we have more doctors in Nigeria today than we had in 1970. We have more lawyers in Nigeria today, more courts than we had in 1960 or 70. But we have less justice in our country. Why do you think this is so? Because you are not your elite. You are not your elite. Anybody that says that they are picking these people from among us, they pick these people. No, that's not how it works. Why they never come pick me? They don't pick. They select. It is not a pick. It is a selection. A selection process, in fact. Because they have to be sure not only that you are you, but that you are them too. They have to be sure. So it's not like they pick people random. You can't just pick random people to put in our oppressive system. So don't let anybody say, it's from your mother, your brother. They will first make sure that that person is not your brother. First, they make sure that that person is not your mother. Is not, looks like, acts like, supposed to be, but the person is not. That the person is willing, like those before him. It's a spirit. Oppression is a spirit. I keep telling you people. It's not only a political reality. It's also a spirit that possesses. So they have to be sure that you possess, that spirit has possessed you. They have to be sure that you are an oppressor. The way Europeans, many of the boys that joined the military for Oyibo people, many of the boys that joined this Oyibo army to kill their own people were orphans. Europeans waged many wars in Africa. They created many orphans in Africa. If you study Congo, Congo is one of the countries that have many of these atrocities detailed the most. If you study the black man's burden, a book that was written, to answer the white man's burden, and see the atrocities that the Belgians. How did the Belgians create their special police? Anytime they raid any village and kill people, right, they will carry all the orphans. They will kidnap all the children. These children were kept in a special place, away from African people. These children never saw African people. They only saw white men, missionaries, who trained them up. Then from there, they went to get military training from the white colonial officers who armed them. You understand? And then these same people that our children were unleashed after being brainwashed. Not only were they unleashed, upon the end of colonialism, power was given to these children, these orphans of Africa that were raised by the enemies of Africa. These children that were raised by the same people that killed their parents. And while killing their parents, were lying to them that it was Africans that is bad. That they killed, no, not that they were lying to them. Europeans did not lie to them. This is what they told them actually. They told them that they killed their parents because their parents were barbaric savages. That their parents were monsters. They were beneath, they were monkeys. But they are being trained to be real human beings. To be like the white man. To be special. So after their training, I'm not lying to you. If you have, if you know all this go on, all this, if you know about Sonjo, go and ask about, he will tell you that all of them, that this lie they give them. They go to Obasanjo, not be Sandhurst, they train them. Go to Sandhurst. They tell them that we pick you here because we've seen that you are not like all these other monkeys. You are special. You can become a human being. You are not a savage. We've seen you've done something. We don't say you not be like this one. You have come here. That's why although we are punishing you, we are treating you bad. It's so that you can be good. You can be the best self. That's why when we say go school for Nigeria, teacher will they flog you for class. They tell you, see, they flog you because he won't make you be a better person. Who did they make use cane? They make better person. They will teach you with cane for class. Imagine. With punishment, who learns with pain? Pain is not a way of learning information. You want to give a child information, you will flog them, because that is how they were flogging them in those days, those missionaries. That's how they were flogging the first lawyer when they were teaching him law. That's how they were flogging the first engineer, like a slave. The way white people were flogging the slaves, that's how they were flogging them, saying that they were helping them be better. So we have all these twisted structure inside our psyche that Europeans have embedded into the minds of those first blacks, that they used to betray their own people, and then now put those people in charge of our society so they can spread that dysfunction. They can spread that dysfunction throughout all our society. So when you see all these our politicians acting like this, it is that spread. They are not us. They are those selected ones that have been used. So now even among us, they too know how to select. You see, the way Europeans knew how to select them among our ancestors is the way they too know now how to select among us those that will favor them. Do you understand that? The way they knew how to select those ones that were willing to kill our ancestors is the way the ones now know how to select the ones that will replace them. And that's why they put all this their money news everywhere in the. That's why they want to make you materialistic, because that's the first sign that you are a weak African. Every weak African is materialistic. There's no weak African that is the number one tendency. Go and look at Mobutu Sese Seko. From Mobutu Sese Seko to Blaise Compaoré. Go and look at all of them. None of them, all they know how to do is consume. They are materialistic. That's the number one part of the selection process. When you come to when they invite you to their house, they go to say your eye they shine. They go deliberately wear expensive watch, put one expensive watch again for table, put one kind expensive drink like this. You go sit up. When you say enter, they're going to look your eye. They're going to say your eye going to shine. They're going to say, you like this? Oh, Baba, this one. He's going to, oh, sir, where did you get this? Oh my God, this is the latest. Oh, Baba, this. They don't catch you. They don't say you be mugu. They don't say you be mugu. They don't catch you. Ah, this is our child. Oh yeah, brainwash here. Give her the next lesson. So that's how it is. That is how it is. So when people come and tell us, are your oppressors not like you? Is it not Nigerians that it is not? They are not like they've been selected. They've been selected because, especially because they are not like me. You understand what I'm saying? They've been selected specially because they are not like us. They've been selected specially. So the next stage after that one, your materialism, is to knock religion on top of your head. Religion is the next key to change your worldview. I'm telling you, I know I have a lot of Christians that follow me, Muslims, but I still say to everybody, there's no way you can be a Christian and Muslim and fight for African liberation. I repeat, no Christian and Muslim can ever care about African liberation, because all the things you have to do to liberate Africa will be called a sin. Will be called a sin. And who exposed this the most is the greatest African Muslim that ever lived in my eyes, Malcolm X. Malcolm X to me has to be the greatest African Muslim that has ever lived. Right? And he's my mentor. So what did he say? What did Malcolm X say about Islam and liberating African people? Malcolm X said that he realized that if anytime he wants to do, if he's really going to do African liberation work, he has to take his Quran and his Islam and shelve it. Not that he stopped believing, not that he stopped believing, in his heart he is a Muslim. That is his love, that is his calling. But he says to do the work of liberation, he has to take his Quran and his Islamic idea, so the shelf. He's not working. He's not going to work hand in hand to this work that he wants to do. To liberate African people. And I always tell people this all the time. I use your president as an example. President Buhari of Nigeria said, if they ask him, I still say it, that a nuclear bomb wants to blow up Lagos or Mecca, that Buhari should choose where this nuclear bomb should blow. In my own eye, I know he's choosing Lagos. He will deny, because but I know, we all know, all of us know. Same thing with Christian in Nigeria. If you tell Christian from Nigeria, say you are going to destroy Reading Camp or Tedrosho Market, where do you think he's going to choose? So it's the same thing. If you ask Catholic Nigerian that you are going to destroy Vatican or Enugu, all the Catholic, even though they are in Enugu, they will say, please destroy Enugu, leave our Vatican church, leave our Vatican church. Leave our Vatican church alone. So we have all these ideas. Ideologies, really, not ideas, let me call them ideologies for Africa that keep Africans from being African people. You understand? So we could really allow these people to say, it should be our oppressors, our father. Me too, I even have one song called Na Oil. On my first album, I think, yeah. Na Oil was on my first album. So I was pretty young, I was like 24 or something. If you listen to the song, I say, these people, now them be our papa, they be our mama, how we beg them now? Oh, when I hear the song, I feel so stupid. Oh my God. That's why maybe children should not be making music, because some of the things I said in my song when I was younger, I hear them now and I'm just like, oh my God, what a stupid motherfucker you were. You are so stupid. I can't believe you recorded this and it's now recorded forever and ever. People will hear that you were once this stupid. You know what I'm saying? So, but as we grow now, we will know the truth. They are not our fathers. They are not our mothers. They are not Nigerians. They are not our brothers. They are not our uncles. Our oppressors are our enemies. That is the only adjective we have for them. We have no other way of describing this noun. We have no other word. We have no other noun, no adjective, no. Our verb, in fact, our verb, our pronoun is against. Our pronoun should be against. I don't know what else. They are not us, they are our enemies. Finish. I mean, they are our father. No. Say, maybe they are part of us, they are Nigerians. No. Maybe they are your brothers, they are your uncle, your sister. No. The only word is enemy. They are our enemies. They are not part of us. They are not anything. They are nothing like that. There's nothing. Our DNA gone. Their DNA has been changed. It has been changed in some molecular level that we have not seen. They are no longer, they are enemy. That is the word. Are they our father? No. Mother, I'm telling you, the word is enemy. They are your enemies. They are your antagonists. Their existence is there just to antagonize us. You understand me? We have no how do I put it? We have no common interests. Yes. We have no common interests with these people. I keep telling you. In fact, I always, how you know this oppressor is the fact that they are happy. They are happy. I remember when all Nigerians were taking their money to donate for Big Brothers. Big Brother comes and say they be blue passport bros. You know, all these kind of people that say that they are part of you, but they are proud to be blue passport holder. All their children. How can you have politicians in Nigeria? How can these people be a part of you? Okay, listen. They are our father, Abi. They are our father. You put your father in charge of your education. Your father is destroying your education. How is that your father? But now, this your father has another child that is sending to a place where there is another school, that his own child direct, that is sending there. How is that your father? Is it not showing you, oh, how that he has no allegiance? Our politicians have no allegiance to us, ladies and gentlemen. They only have personal allegiance to themselves and their family, their children, and their masters. And their masters, they have no allegiance to us, ladies and gentlemen. So, they are our enemies. We have no... Where's the word I'm looking for? We have no common interest. Their children are not Nigerians, first of all. Many of them, even our celebrities, I say to people, many of the celebrities in Nigeria are just there to use you people, your love that you give them. I think this is that thing I don't, and this is why they are willing to work with this kind of celebrities, willing to pick them. They are happy with them. I'm telling you, your influencers who want to take your love, your attention, they take all the attention you give them, all the love you give them, they monetize it, and they don't invest it into making our country, our life, or the situation that they are number one earner. Because no matter what they do, it is we, the people of Nigeria. It is we, the people of Nigeria, that give all these influencers the clout that they have all over the world. Nigerians in Nigeria, Nigerians in London, Nigerians in the US, Nigerians, as we spread all over the world, we spread the influence of our celebrities all over the world. We support. Me too, I'm a beneficiary of this immense support of Nigerians. I cannot deny it. You know? When I'm playing in all these shows, I see my people, not only Nigerians, Congo, Ghanaians, you know, mixed also with Europeans from all over the world. Yes, Europeans are there. Yes, no problem. You know, we're there, we're down, we're good. It's all nice. But we don't have where's the word I'm looking for? We don't have anything back in return with the people. I believe that any influencer, celebrity that truly is supported by the Nigerian people, we must be thinking of how to also help our people. Right? Our people are helping us. Nigerians are helping us. They're giving us great life. In fact, giving us life that is almost at par as our celebrity cousins in Europe and America. They support us, they give us a good life. It is our duty, influencer, celebrity, whatever. Nigerians are the ones supporting you. You cannot now be supporting their destruction. So this is what I don't understand. And why do you support people that don't support you back? You too, why do you have so little self-esteem? So little self-pride that you are supporting people that don't care about you? We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't. So Nigerian celebrities, we too Nigerian celebrities, influencers, we the people that have the attention of our people in our hands. Let us stop selling that attention just for what we are going to eat. Let's also take that their attention and mold it into something that can also be beneficial to them, that will remove them from the grasp of their enemies. I know for a fact the majority of the influencers and celebrities in Nigeria, they take your attention and mold it, right, into a tool that your enemies can use against you. And that is dangerous. Real short talk, I was with a guy in the airport who is also initiated into Ifa. So he was telling me that he's in the same Ifa group as my eldest sister. My eldest sister, they're in one Ifa group that they. So I was saying to him, okay, cool, that's nice. So I now told him my Odu. Because in my own Ifa circle, we are so close that I don't forget one of the original rules that you don't share your Odu with any Babalawo. Because if that Babalawo doesn't like you, he can use that your Odu against you because now he knows your Odu. You understand? But me and my own crew, we share our Odu to the extent that if there's something for somebody to do and you are not around, other people can do it for you and make sure that your divination is and the sacrifices that you need to do are done. You understand what I'm saying? I'm so used to that I just told him. So this is what we are doing in Nigeria, kind of. That we are giving our odus, we are giving our destiny, our consciousness, we are giving it to a few people that we feel like us. They want to use it, but they are using it against us. They are using it for their own personal benefit, regardless of what is happening to us. So this is where we are betraying. This is why I feel that Nigerians still need to take yourself serious. Love yourself. It's important. All these people channeling your mind and your energy towards material gain. Trust me when I tell you that they are truly not for you and your progress. They are all about what they're going to eat. So you see many of them too happy. Take all the money in Nigeria, just like our politicians. Take all the money in Nigeria, go and build us in America, buy us in London, pack all your family, send them there. But you don't have that option. You don't have that option. You don't have that option. So your oppressors are not our fathers, they are not our mothers, they are not from us. From pre-colonial time, during colonization, sorry, not pre-colonial, but during colonization, the Europeans have selected those Africans that do not have the African spirit in them, right? That are not like us. They've put them in charge since colonial times, so-called independence. They put them in charge, and those are the people that are also now selecting those ones among us too that are like them to run us. They are our enemies within. Everybody, and this is not another thing I say, only Africans. So let me make that clear before I leave this live. Every group also has the enemy within. In America, in this America that I'm in right now, in the 50s, when they were going through the Cold War, the 50s and 60s, there was something called McCarthyism that ruled and dominated America by a man called McCarthy. McCarthy was one of their senators here in America who was championing the American cause against the Soviets here in America, because at that time, in the 50s, after the Second World War, right, many Americans were also communists that believed in the Soviet Union's economic model for America. In fact, the Communist Party was the biggest party in America after the Second World War. One of the biggest parties. It was big third party. They had millions of members, and they were beginning to make huge political impact right here in America. That's one of the things that they won't teach you in mainstream history. How America had a huge communist party. So what happened to the American Communist Party? What happened to the American Communist Party? McCarthy, it was called the Red Scare. It was called the Red Scare. America purged itself of all its communists. I'm not joking. Go and read the history. When they tell you home of the free, land of the free, America, you can do what you like in America. Go and what's the word I'm looking for? Check the history. What happened to the communists of America? They were all thrown in jail, hounded, almost congressional hearing. They were purged. It was a purge. Why? Because they knew that that communist ideology, if it's allowed to exist in America, will weaken the capitalist ideology of America. America refused. You know? So there's no people that will not have other people with different view. The problem we have in Africa is that we are not allowed, or rather, it is frowned upon to do what America has done to our own traitors. So to America, the communists were traitors. That's what they believe. Even though they were wrong, because this is politics. They are allowed to do any politics that they want. You know, even among the Jews, during World War II, many of the police that the Germans were using to arrest the Jews to the concentration camp were fellow Jews. Many of the people leading the Jews into the gas chamber to be burnt alive, to be gassed to death. Many of the people torturing the criminals and burning the bodies in the crematorium were other Jews. In fact, they were proud to be the Jews that were working for the German Reich. You can Google this. The Jewish police under German, they had their own badge, you know. They had special treatment. They could go to the places other Jews could not go. They could eat what other Jews could not eat. They had privileges. Their wife and their own children would never go into the gas chamber. They were never used in the concentration camps. For their own job was, at least, I better pass my brother. You always find those people in any group. So don't let anybody come and tell you that because we have these traitors among us that we don't deserve to be free. What we have not done is to treat them like traitors, the way the Jews have treated those people that work with the Germans as traitors. The way the Americans with McCarthyism treated their own communists as traitors. We instead are hailing and embracing our own traitors as heroes. This is the difference. That's the only mistake we are making. Every group has traitors. Africans must now begin to become the enemies of their traitors instead of helping their own traitors make excuses for their traitors against them. This is what we are doing, and they are using the celebrities and the influencers to make your mind like that. You understand? They are using to make your mind like that. To think that you owe any kind of support to your own enemy, your own traitor. It is the job of the influencers to keep your minds like that. So you must break away from these influencers and celebrities that keep your mind working for your enemy, working for traitors among us. Free your mind. There's a difference between freedom and justice. I always tell people that I am not fighting for justice. I am fighting for freedom. Let those that care about fighting for justice go and fight their just fight, their justice fight inside the corrupt system. How can justice exist in a corrupt system? We want to be free. We want to topple this system by any means necessary. So I know definitely that some of the things that we will do to destroy this system will not be termed as justified, will be seen as unjust. But whatever it is, it will be done, and we will do it. When the time comes, we will do it. Thank you very much. So, our traitors are not us, they are our enemies. That's the only word we have for them. Enemy. They are not our father. They are not our mothers. They are not fellow Nigerians. They are not from among us. They are our enemies. They've been made enemies from colonial times, and we one day will address them as such.